awareness, and we have to be able to speak about what has happened to us, but in a place of safety, because not everyone can handle our story, and not everyone has the ability to be empathetic and to really hold space for us. So I would say that not everyone deserves to hear our story in the way that we need to tell it, but we need to be able to tell it to the people and to the spaces that have the capacity to hold that space for us. And then we have to be able to look at our own life and understand, okay, how has my life changed since my sister passed? How has Shelly's life changed since this tragedy happened with her brother, right? And then we have to be able to look at, well, what do I need to deal with inside of me? The grief, the stress, or the fear that, just like Shelly, when I started telling my sister's story, there were people in my family who were unhealed. So they didn't necessarily see the value in the telling of the story to be able to impact and help other people. So we also have to reshift and move people around that may not be helpful to where we're going in this next journey. But when we deal with our stress, we deal with our grief, and we look at how it's impacted us. That may include therapy, that may include shifting people, that may include boundaries, that may include meditation, leading into our spiritual life, getting a community of people around us who understand. I mean, so everyone's journey is going to be different, Dr. Rowe, but there is a journey of healing and there is a journey of help. And just as Shelly shared in her story, now being able to share her story to be able to help and impact so many other people. So then it becomes not just about us and what happened to us, but it's about how do we give back to those that still are here and that may be going through something, maybe sharing her story, maybe telling some of those details. Someone's going to relate to it and they're going to make a different decision as a result of it. Or they may reach out to her, they may read the book, or they may reach out for help, Dr. Rowe.
Thank you so much. And there's a couple of questions that line with this, and people had asked this ahead of time. And so I want you to answer while you are here for the next 10 minutes. Often when someone has mental health struggles, people will say they're so crazy, and they use that openly, like it's funny. What are some other languages that people can use when they're trying to express that someone in their family or they themselves have a mental health struggle?
Well, that is a great question, because I believe language matters. And one of my mission is to help people and be committed to reducing stigma around mental health. And even though we've come a long way in these 37 years since our tragedy in our family, and as Shelly's story, that we still have a long way to go. So I believe that words can be used to shape how we think and how we treat people who are struggling, which is also contributes to the stigma. Because if people feel like these words, you're crazy or there's something wrong with me, then why would you reach out and get help if you feel like this is what people think, right? So it's a barrier for people for getting help. So if I was to give that person or people who are listening advice, I would always suggest to use first person language. That's more empowering, and that's more empowering, where first person language would mean that you talk about the person who's experiencing the condition. So versus saying like a person, they have schizophrenia, you can say something like a person is living with schizophrenia, or a person with bipolar disorder, or a person in recovery, or a person with substance use disorder, a person experiencing mental health challenges. So person first, condition second would be a good formula that people can take. Or you can say something like someone navigating a mental health condition versus that they have a mental illness, right? Because we know a comment to make there, Dr. Rowe, we all have mental health. Every single one of us has mental health, but some people experience mental illness. Mental health and mental illness are two different things. Every single person, we have mental health just as we have physical health, right? But there may be people who are experiencing the mental health condition, right? So we want to be able to use terms that talk about first person, which is the person, and then we talk about their condition. So we want to be able to use like more strength-based language, like she's working on her mental health versus she has mental health issues, for example. Or we can say things like he is in treatment or he's receiving support. They're learning to manage their symptoms versus she got to take medication or she got to do, right? Or she's actively healing, right? I believe I'm still actively healing. Shelly's actively healing, right? So we can say things like that, or they're prioritizing their wellness but we want to stay away from stigmatizing terms like you mentioned, crazy, insane, psycho, lunatic, they're suffering. I mean, all of those words contribute to people not getting help versus they're abnormal, there's something wrong with them. We want to stay away from those types of things, would be my thoughts on the topic.
And then two other things. What would you say to someone who works in an environment where they're afraid to let their employer or employee know that they are suffering? What would you say to them? What advice would you give them?
So it's a very nuanced question, but I can understand why somebody would be fearful, especially to let their employer know, because we do have a lot of toxic workplaces out there that also contribute to stigmatization of mental health challenges. So the first thing I would say, even before they had that conversation with their employer, is to look at what resources that they have, what benefits that they have, because depending on the benefits and the resources they have, they may be able to take some mental health benefits without necessarily disclosing exactly what that is. So the language that they can use, depending on their benefits, is I would like to use my mental health benefits and right. So I would use the language of the company. So whether it's the benefits or whether it's in the handbook, take the language directly from that, and that would be what would be spoken to as far as the manager. But I would suggest, when it comes to places of employment, to be cautious on sharing all the details, because what I will experience sometimes with clients is they will overshare because they say, well, if I tell them everything, then they're going to understand. But that's where you have to know your environment. So if you do have an understanding manager or you have someone that you have a good rapport with, then maybe you can share a little bit more of what's happening with your mental health challenges. But if you have more of a strictly professional relationship and it potentially may have some toxicity in the environment, you may want to be more slow to share first to find out what your benefits, what your rights are. Use the language from that package into how you share it with your manager. But what I would share with that person, Dr. Rowe, is to share less first, until you understand the culture of the environment and how they look at mental health and how they look at a person that may be having mental health illness. And so that would be my suggestion if I was to give a broad stroke to that question.
Thank you. And then our last comment is, or question, what are some tangible resources that a family or a person or individual can use when they are struggling with mental illnesses themselves, like tangible aspects that they can physically do? Let's say if they can't afford counseling right now, or they want to make sure they maintain some level of healthiness each day, what would you say about that?
The first thing I always like to give is the suicide and crisis lifeline. So if someone is in some type of crisis or emergency, it's just 988, right? So making sure that people know that that resource is available to you. And if someone cannot necessarily afford therapy, most communities, Dr. O, have free resources. So first, I would see what's in my local community, whether it's a university. So I'm in the Orlando area. University of Central Florida offers free counseling to the community. So first, seeing what's actually in the community. And then secondly, I would be seeing what maybe a church community would offer, because community is going to be important, and have someone on your team that is a professional and that can guide and can diagnose and point you in the right direction. So I always point to some type of professional help, and then that could be free help if necessary. And then secondly, we have a lot of resources. We have a lot of resources online, like we're all meeting online, right? So it can be looking at things that you are experiencing, looking at YouTube videos, reading books. But I always like to suggest, when you are using free resources, you have to vet who you're listening to. You have to vet what you're allowing into your ear gates, so to make sure that they are someone who's validated and that they understand. So looking at YouTube videos, reading books, finding out meetup groups, and just being around. A lot of communities have meetup groups with people that have challenges with mental illness. So maybe doing some searches in the community. But the go-to would always, for me, would be getting some type of professional help, or if you have a healthy church community, that could be a good place as well. And then group therapy, because once you have a good diagnosis, if there's a person that has challenges with mental health, we know that there is help. We know that there's treatment, Dr. Rowe. We know that if we get people in the right place that have the right diagnosis, and maybe it's not a diagnosis, maybe it's, someone that may have experienced something that Shelly and I have experienced, and they have grief. If we have grief, then we know that it's going to be normal to go through 5 stages. You're going to be angry. You're going to be bargaining. Like, what if I did this? So there's certain normal responses to normal life events. So if it's that, then getting the right support to move through it so we don't get stuck. But if there's mental illness, we know that there's healthy and proper treatment. And if people get healthy, proper treatment, they can get to the other side of it, Dr. Rowe.
Yes. And before you have to hop off, can you just share a little of what you do with Women Redeem? I really advocate for that. Even with you being in Florida, I think every woman should be able to benefit from your program. And I just want you to tell people what it is so that when they hear it, if they know a loved one, they can send them your way.
Yes, and I appreciate that. So Women Redeem is a program for women who are breaking free and healing from toxic relationships. It is birthed out of the legacy of my dear, kind, and loving sister, Carmen Rivera, who had death by murder of someone that she loved and had shared children with in 1988. So she's not here, but I'm here, you're here. And there are so many women that hide and get isolated when they're in toxic relationships. So especially if they have public platforms. So I work with CEOs, C-suite, celebrities, where when they have toxic relationships and traumatic experiences, sometimes they feel very isolated. So Women Redeem, we have retreats. We have a 12-week intensive program. We're actually in one right now. In week 7, we have a monthly membership, and it's for women who are in or healing or are just now grieving toxic relationships, so they can not only thrive, not only in love life, if that's what they choose to move on to, but in their businesses and just in life in whole, Dr. Rowe. Thank you.
Oh, and Ron Hudson in LinkedIn said, thoughtful advice and direction from a professional is priceless. Appreciate you, Dr. Lacey.
So thank you, Ron. I appreciate you, Ron.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lacey, for being here, for your words of wisdom. We always appreciate every time you come to this event. And I know Gino is smiling from heaven at everything you just said. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rowe.
Thank you. And now we have heard some amazing advice. And before we go on to complete our last half hour, I want to give us an intermission of an amazing songstress. Her stage name is Yane Indigo, and she is going to, let me click this again. She is going to grace us with her voice and love. Okay, Yane, let me see. Let me get you on here. I clicked everybody else's. Oh, sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. She's going to grace us with her love and I'm sorry, Yane, I'm not sure what is going on, but everyone else has like this arrow and yours has something else. Let me see. Can you click back off and come back in? And I'm only saying that because you should be like everyone else, and I'm not sure why it's not doing what it should. It's only showing you. Yeah, and then we'll introduce you. In the meantime, guys, while we wait for that to happen, I want to apologize to the people in Facebook. I had gotten several texts on my personal phone saying, hey, I can't see it. And I'm like, what? That's my main platform. So I looked and it said that it was deleted. So I'm just going to believe and trust that everything is going to be okay. This is being recorded. So as soon as we're done, I will put it on there as a live broadcast again. So it will start from the beginning. It's live right now. If you're listening and want to see it on Facebook, you saw it from the point that Dr. Jamie Lacey started talking. But when I re-release it, it'll be from the beginning. So I apologize for that. It has been fixed, and we have Yane back on the scene. So let's try to get her up here on the platform. I'm not sure what is going on, but Yane, they can see you. It's just a square, and I'm not sure why it's not doing it up front. But I know that you grace us with your beautiful sound. And this is a song that I have not heard, but I know that I will let Yane tell you what inspired her to write this, and we're going to try to get her on the front, but you'll be able to hear it. Go ahead, Yane.
Can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So this song is called Virus, and um, I wrote this song because I understand that we're all connected, and that what's in any one of us flows through all of the rest of us. All that is alive is completely connected. And so I believe in the importance. Like right now, it's like a really like there's so much is happening, like suffering and struggling that's happening in the world, which really impacts me. And sometimes I know that it can feel wrong to feel joy and to feel comfort and peace. And at the same time, because we're connected, whatever we embody is what we flow out into that which we connect with, which is all life. And so if we want a world that has joy, we have to actually embody joy so that we can flow that into it. And in that same spirit of understanding that, that's what this song is. The lyrics of this song are meant to represent. So I'm going to sing it a cappella, and I welcome you to, to clap your hands or something if you feel moved. So I don't know if you can hear me stomp. I'm here to love you. It's why I was made to be the love you crave. What's been missing ain't your fault. And now I'm here to infect your heart. Contagious, join us. Let's spread love. I'm a love virus. I'm a love virus. Infectious, cascading love. I'm a love virus. I'm a love virus. Look at your heart, love filled every part. I'm here to love you, and I do indeed. I bring the love you need. Yesterday don't matter. The only time is now. We can heal the world. Let me show you how. Contagious, join up. Let's spread love. I'm a love virus. I'm a love virus. Infectious, cascading love. Ooh, I'm a love virus. I'm a love virus. Look at your heart, love fills every part. Love, 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 love. Build every part. Oh, oh, love, 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 love. Build every part. I'm here to love you, and I do indeed. I'll bring the love you need. Yesterday don't matter. The only time is now. We can change the world. Let me show you how. I'm a love virus. I'm a love virus. Infectious, cascading love. I'm a love virus. I'm a love virus. Look at your heart, love. Filled every part. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for providing that
Beautiful.
music intermission. I believe music. I know many of you. Music is like soul food. It's just so great. It fills us up, in so many ways. So thank you so much.
That was beautiful. I was ready to scat. It was coming.
You could have joined in. It says
I
join us,
know.
right?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I love
Beautiful.
that.
And as we continue, our next segment is just going to share. We're going to share a little bit about the real ways that we have coped with stories and been able to endure. And then we will be graced with the lovely sounds as well of Bridget Dawkins of Sounds of Blackness. With that, I'm going to see if we can get Shelly back up here. And I don't know why Yanez doesn't do that, but it's something. It's all good. We all heard your lovely sound and we appreciate it. So Shelly Jean, you shared your painful aspect of what you went through with your brother's passing and all of that. What were ways that you learned to cope? Because I know, how many years has it been since that happened?
36.
Yes, so that's and we want it that difference, because here you have people that are rawly dealing with it, and then other people with myths, and they'll say, well, that person left this earth 20 or 30 years ago, and it's like they don't think you're still supposed to hurt about it, so I want you to share with people. And Yanni, I also, Dr. Joanne Terrell said, lovely voice, lovely sound. It's up here. I don't know if you can see the comments, but I just put it there. I wanted you to know. Shelly, how did you deal with those aspects of things?
So interestingly enough, was it Dr. Laney? Was that her name that was talking?
Yeah, Dr. Lacey. Yeah.
Yeah, Lacey. Yeah, that was brilliantly said. And I actually said that yesterday to a group of girls that I work with. I said, we're not the label. It's what we do. It's not who we are. And that was a big lesson to learn. Like for an example, I work at a daycare, and I said, you always hear, I am a teacher. That may be part of your identity, but it's not who you are. You teach all these kids. And that was one of the things I was talking about with me. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Am I really? No, I haven't. I went to recovery. See, my daughter's 41. So 41 years ago. And this is a little bit after my brother had passed away. And I wanted to share a little bit about that too. That was part of what happened with him too, is he was deep in, they'd been drinking all day. They'd been doing drugs all day. He got on the phone with like I said, his other part of the family. There was a lot of hate going back and forth. And he just said, you know what, I've had enough. And I really believe that the trauma, and that's what I was going to share in part of the other story, is that part of that trauma from, his childhood led up to that point where everything just pinged him. It's just one more thing and not being good enough. And you're this and you're that. And he just had enough and said, that's it, I'm done. And so I talked about the after part of that, of all the things about the lies told us, not telling the whole truths and everything. And I still really hold true to that. That was a big lesson learned a few weeks ago. Like, when you're thinking you're protecting somebody, you're really not. The truth really needs to be told. What I did when going through that is I had my kids. I had 3 kids that I had to take care of, that I was raising. And my mom was by herself. And there was a few years before she passed away, we had talked about my brother's death. Because, like I said, she never came back from that. And one of the things she said to me was, "Where were you? Why weren't you there for me?" And it shocked me. And I said, "What do you mean I wasn't there for you?" And she's like, "You left me alone." And I'm like, I was living in Minneapolis. My mom was living in a little city outside of South Dakota, and she never said anything. And I said, "This is the problem." I go, "How am I supposed to know if nobody says and asks you anything?" Just like, for mental awareness day, like you have to ask for help. You have to, yeah. And again, like Dr. Lacey said, you have to find the right people to talk to. And if that's even calling 988, that's what you have to do. Like you've got to get into the person or people that can help you with that. Again, we didn't have that 36 years ago. And I just learned to survive through all of my experiences. I was just a survivor, and it's a day by day thing. And I flew by the seat of my pants, pretty literally. And I don't wish that on anybody. It's the hardest thing to have to go through. And I really feel that that's a lot of what happens today too, is that we do have all this social media and all these things, but there's also a lot of places and spaces on here that feed into how this person is dealing with mental illness, and it can really go sideways and it can go down the wrong path, as we've seen many things happening with that, right now. And one of the biggest things that I had to do is I had to really dive into recently is really get back into my faith. Like I'd walked away from my faith. I'd walked away from everything. I hated God. Like, how could you do this to me? This is not for me. I didn't realize that at the time. But now I do believe it is for me. Like, what can I do? What through this experience of all of this can I do to help other people to keep them from having to go through the same thing? And I agree with Dr. Lacey. It's plugging into the right people, the right places and right things. So I feel very, very strong about that. I had to, when I first was going through my own grief with my son and a whole other lot of losses within an 8-month period of time, YouTube was my go-to. Books were my go-to. I wasn't sure about people. Like she said, too trusting. I did the same thing. I overshared. And then people started talking outside of my private groups. And then it got back to other people and got back to me. And I just learned to distrust. And that's not where we want to be. We want to learn to trust people, and we want to be able to learn to love, and we want to be able to feel that love, because we are worthy of that. And that's the biggest problem and challenge that I see that we have too, is that we've been pinged so many times about how we're not this, we're not that. And so one thing just solidifies on top of the other thing, and it's going to take a while to get those bricks to break down, but we really do have to surround ourselves with the right people. And you just have to be willing to be open enough to say, yes, I want good things to happen for myself. I deserve to have good things for myself. That's the other thing. People don't feel they deserve to have anything. They feel that they don't deserve to have the good things in life. And that's so not true. You just have to be able to just get to that next step and just give yourself. I've learned that even the next minute, just get through 1 minute, and then maybe it's 5 minutes. Then 5 minutes leads to 15, and next thing you know, you're half day in, and then you're 24 hours, and it really is one day at a time. Sometimes 1 minute at a time, sometimes 5 minutes at a time. That's what I have for you, Dr. Rowe.
Thank you. That was powerful, what you said, and thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. The reason, one of the major reasons I asked you that question, sorry, I'm trying to get back on here. The major reason I asked you that is because people here, like Dr. JD told us all the professional things, and then there's some people that will not even go near a professional. It's not anything against the professional. They just want to hear it from real life perspectives too. So what you just said, one day at a time, all of those things, people need to hear that. Someone is listening that needs to hear that. Thank you. I personally will not go into all of Gino's story, but what I will say, and I have to give a shout out to my dear friend and relative, Dr. Pam Howard. I was talking to her about some of this, and she said, Ro, have you ever told people what you actually went through? And I'm like, I don't want to go through that. She goes, no, they need to hear it because somebody is going through that now. I put these last two things out there before we hear from the lovely Bridget. When my son went to heaven, literally, it's just such a shocking moment. It's not normal. A parent does not normally go to heaven or have their child go to heaven before them. So it's not something I expected. But what I will say is I really, truly wanted to leave this earth with my son when that happened. I have other children. I love them to pieces and love them more than life itself. But I wanted to leave this earth. I could not believe that something like that would happen in the way it happened. And I think what cracked me the most was about a few weeks later, my son had packed a box in a dresser drawer. And I opened that drawer and it had these letters from his girlfriend at the time. And she was telling him in writing, I know your mom doesn't love you. I'm the only one who loves you. And those kinds of conversations were going on via letter instead of text. So none of us knew that those things were happening. Now, that is not to blame her for everything. I do believe she played a major part in what Gino was feeling, and Giovanni was also high functioning autistic. But as a mom and a parent, you play those things back over in your head. What could I have done? Could I have gotten his phone? Could I have gotten in his room? Could I have dug in all these things? It knocked me out of the water. And I really had to do my own soul searching too. But the three things that helped me the most: number one, faith, prayer. I asked my pastor to come to my home, and my pastor was very blunt with me. When the first responders showed up at our house and we were able to open the door to get downstairs, or when they opened the door, we all heard what happened, and that was very traumatic. But I didn't want to go downstairs for a bit. And my pastor said, if you don't go down there now, you're probably never going to want to go downstairs. So let's say a prayer. She held my hand. We went downstairs, and I was able to get past that first part of trauma. So that was the first, just that faith. I prayed with my son's girlfriend's dad, and I was able to forgive at that moment everything that I was learning and let that go. I don't harbor any ill will. I just am very hurt about what happened and the toxicity part. So that was one. Number two, I was reluctant to open up to my friends to tell them what I was feeling. I thought, if I tell somebody I want to go to heaven with Gino, they're going to think those things that Dr. Lacey said. So I wrote something down, and then I think I told my husband, and he in turn called my best friend and told her, and she was like, no, we're going to get you some help right now. So I was able to get into trauma therapy and this program that really helped me. And that third thing is what they shared with me, so I can't take credit for it. They suggested I get a distress box. And so I have one as I'm looking right up here. It's like one of those boxes that has the magnetic like closure, and you open it up, and you can go get it from like Hobby Lobby or a department store that sells these little decorative things. And inside are my favorite things like coloring books and crayons and my favorite fragrance, my son's picture, all the things that I love that will help me distress even for a moment when I'm feeling that. And so I learned to do that. She was like teaching me things like take showers in the middle of the day, even if you got to leave from work, go outside, smell fresh air, pray, all of those things. Prayer is not always the only answer. In conjunction with prayer, we have to do tangible things. And another thing is recognize that you are not okay. You keep saying, I'm good. Like somebody asked me, how are you doing? When I say I'm good, maybe I'm hurting inside and I'm afraid to say that. So it's good to just tell people there's something wrong and you need that help. And I hope that helps you from just not my professional side of things, but me as a mom telling you how much it hurts. With no further ado, before I introduce the lovely Miss Bridget, I want to tell her this. Lovely Miss Bridget, I'm putting you on the screen. Here you go. I had a call with Dr. Pam earlier, and she said to me, she runs a practice where she helps people with wellness and health, and she's done that a long time. She told me for years, the song that she uses when they come into her center and she gets them in the meditation mode of listening is Sounds of Blackness. And I didn't know that before I asked you to be on here, but I just want you to know she expressed to me that your music, your band, all of you have helped so many people in Atlanta, Georgia, where her two practices are when they listen to it. So we are just blessed to have you here. And I'm so thankful you shared with me, you're going to release your new song on this. and we just can't wait to hear it. But I want you to share anything you want to share before you sing. Oh, we can't hear you. Your mic is off. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to join you today. While I have not had the personal experience that you've had, I do know some people that are close to me who have. And I think what I deem will speak to you about this song is it's about releasing. It's about releasing the the hurt and the pain and all of the bad things or memories or feelings that you have about whatever the experience is. And in this case, it's regarding the things that have happened to you personally through with family members. This song was inspired by the loss of my dad. I'm going to try to keep it together here. In April of 2020. And shortly after I lost him, I got a condition that that caused me to, it was a nervous condition from losing him that caused me to feel like things were crawling basically in my hair and my head. And I ended up shaving all of my hair off from the condition. And I was in the shower, taking a shower, and this song is what came to me, and it allowed me to go seek. I didn't even use the prescription. The condition was gone. And so the song is called Release, and I hope that you're blessed by it. I'm going to cue my maestro, my husband over there. Maestro?
I think it's frozen.
Yep, she's frozen.
Hopefully it'll come off frozen. I need to tell her, let's see. Now, of all times, why would it freeze?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, no! Okay, let me message her, let her know if it's frozen. Oh, she'll know because it kicked her out, so she'll come back.
There you go.
Hang on, we will be right back. For some reason, the screen froze, but we are gonna ask for Grace here as she comes back on screen. It could just be like the weather in Minnesota. Let me see if I can make Yanni up front now to that happen, because it wouldn't. Oh, here we go. Now we can see you.
Just three. Yeah.
We could see you before, Yanni. We could see you. It's just you were on the side, and I think because you're broadcasting, I didn't know it had you in the front because it wouldn't let me put you out there so people can see you. Let me let her know.
Yeah, I said it's okay. The point really was the song and the message in the song, and so if people could hear that, then everything went well.
That was beautiful.
Yes, and they could see you. It's just they saw you as a little square. I was trying to make you for I think it was broadcasting you elsewhere, or maybe it's because you got out and got back in before. But let me just see where which it is now, and what we can do here. Okay, hopefully she will be right back. There she is. Okay, it's okay. See, the devil be busy now.
Well, I'll tell you what, if time does,
It's okay.
the song was written in 2020. I'm going to have a re-release that's including a video, but I do have a lyric video.
That's okay.
So if
You can sing now, you can sing it. Just
I can,
yes.
okay, let's
You,
start over.
yeah, you
Okay.
just chose on your end, and so
You know, technical difficulties always happen when you sing. So generally,
amazing singer, and
okay, here we go. Can you hear it?
yes.
All right. I'm going to put this down. I went away again.
We can hear you, but we can't see
Okay.
you.
All right. Oh. Pandemic, gotta wear a mask, gotta social distance. Now that's a task. Losing your job, no food to eat. Losing your business, you feel confused. Your rent is due, feeling the stress. About to lose your house, oh what a mess. Where do you turn? Do what you learn to give you peace. You just release. Yeah. Hey. Pressure. Gotta let it go. No time for the heart. Listen, I know you feel, gotta keep it real. No words to say, make it okay. How do you go? Loved ones are gone, couldn't say goodbye. You could only cry. Though times are hard, don't let down your guard. Cause there's a friend, he'll be there till the end. Look toward the sun, change gonna come. He'll give you peace, you just release. Pressure, pressure. Gotta let it go. No time for hold. Ooh, yeah, yeah. You say, whoa, what can I do? Who can I see? Where can I go? Here's what you gotta do. You gotta release. Oh, yeah. Let it go. Find the joy. Passion. I know the passion of life got you down. Oh, oh, yeah. Peace. Yeah. Let go. Oh, that's it.
That is wow.
Thank
Beautiful.
you so much.
Thank you.
We felt that in your soul, and I'm so sorry for the loss of your father and all other aspects that you've been going through. And any of the other panelists want to comment to her?
I do. I just want to say I really appreciate that message. There's like so much that like life's on us so frequently, and
Yes.
and if we don't have like I just think that I'm really looking forward to that song being out, and
Thank
and
you.
we
Thank you.
need to have a release that you can play that to remind yourself, and just I feel like it's a really cathartic message, and I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it, and I appreciate the spirit with which you share that as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Shelley, you want to say anything?
I agree too. I feel that once the song is totally complete and put together and put out there, that's actually very beautiful. And it's also a reminder of a time that was really crazy for us back then too.
Mm-hmm.
We can say that
That's
we all went
right.
through a lot of mental health when all
Yeah.
of that was going on, and we've all got through that. So again,
Mm-hmm.
it is really that one day at a time, and your song
Yeah.
just brilliantly says that. And both of you have really
Thank
wonderful
you.
songs. I love the love from both of
Yes.
you too. I'm big about hearts. Like I love hearts,
Mm.
like in a big way. I'm like, I want your hat, Bridget. And I
You know
love the
what?
song,
I'll
Yade.
t-
Like I
and
love it.
hate is a virus. Hate is a
Yes,
virus.
yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we can be a love virus, and
That's right.
that's
Yeah,
it
that's
can
I love.
spread
I was like,
love.
that's
Yeah.
great. Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. Is
Yeah.
yours out yet?
No,
Has
I
it
don't
been
even have music for it or anything. The only
okay?
music I have is the stomping of my foot and the
Are
clapping of
you
my hand
kidding?
right now.
That's great though.
I was gonna go up in my music room, get my tambourine and everything. I was ready.
There you go. You two can collaborate on this
Right.
I'm
together and
telling
get this
you,
out there.
I would. And mine actually, it was released at that time, 2021, and then there was a re-release. So it's going to be an actual like re-release because I never did a full video for it. So it's just really a release of the video, and then I'm going to be doing some gospel and other songs that I've written.
Yes. And it's so beautiful.
Thank
Music,
you.
yes, music changes everything. It puts us in that space where we can just release, as you said, and as Jane said,
Hmm.
love is spread, and it's a positive love, that we're looking
Hmm.
at. So we're thankful for that. I am thankful for you. Our final comment, Dr. Joanne Terrell said in LinkedIn, be blessed and stay safe, well, and joyful. I am so blessed for all of you who are listening. And I appreciate my panelists for coming today to share with us the 6th annual Mental Health Hour, and in honor of Giovanni in heaven. I am just so appreciative. I pray that one person, at least one, is taking
Yes.
the message that you heard today. And there will
Yes.
be a rebroadcast on Facebook in about 20 minutes. If you come back, I'm going to delete the one that is on Facebook and rebroadcast this like it's live so y'all can see it from the beginning. But I pray that all of that help. Thank you, Dr. Jamie Lacey. Thank you, Yane Indigo. Thank you, Shelly Jean. Thank you, Bridget Dawkins of Sound of
You
Black.
bet.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the listeners, everyone for being here. Please do listen to this broadcast. I will rebroadcast it also on my podcast, which is the same name, Covering Truth with Grace. Not only will this be there, but for the last 5 years, in honor of Gino, I have interviewed people all over that share their amazing stories that are business related, personal related, but their triumphs and their tribulations have shown that they walk by faith. So go to any podcast platform and you should be able to hear it. But in the meantime, I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. We love you. Appreciate you so much.
That's all of you.
Thank you so much
Take
for
care.
Thank
letting me
you. Thank you.
contribute.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.
Bro.
Yes.